Welcome back to the Morning Blend. Today, getting the benefits you deserve. It's difficult enough to be sick or injured and not be able to provide for your family. If you're also denied benefits, it can be almost impossible to get by.
Joining us now is Lauren Zwirlein. I just practiced it right before you got out here too, with Tabak Law to discuss Social Security disability and how you can get the benefits that you deserve. Good to see you.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, nice to see you.
So what is Social Security disability? For people, a lot of people are familiar obviously with Social Security, but what is the disability part?
Yeah, most people, when they think of Social Security, they think of retirement. But there are a lot of benefits that Social Security pays, and one of them, like you said, is disability. The two main programs that we deal with in our office are SSI and SSDI. The medical requirements for those two programs are the same, but the difference between them is that SSDI is a work-based benefit, whereas SSI is a needs-based benefit. So there's different qualifications that the government looks at to determine whether or not they can even consider someone for their medical disability.
Is the I for insurance?
So SSDI is Social Security Disability Insurance, and then SSI is Supplemental Security Income.
Gotcha.
So the I's are slightly different.
Okay.
But yeah.
I wondered too, you know, when people are denied benefits, that's one thing. I also wonder if there's sometimes people aren't aware of the fact that they may be deserving of benefits or that they might qualify. What are the reasons that sort of prevent someone from getting the benefits they deserve?
Well, the great thing about Social Security is their website is very user-friendly, I would say. You can get a lot of information there, but also calling our office. There's a lot of stuff that the government won't always tell you or that isn't immediately obvious. And there are additional benefits that the government can pay out outside of the disability, and that's something that we can also talk with someone about as well. So, you know, really calling a lawyer or, you know, doing some research and looking into it, I think is the most important thing. Because everyone's situation, of course, is different, and, you know, you want to make sure you get everything that's out there for you. You know, you don't want to leave that on the table. So,
is there ever a point where you're just like, this is when someone should consider filing? Like, what is that in your mind?
Well, for Social Security purposes, it's usually people who have more long-standing chronic illnesses. It's not a temporary program. You know, if you break your arm, usually you're going to get better in 3 or 6 months, and, you know, hopefully you're better and fine after that. But, you know, when you're dealing with something that's chronic and your doctor's saying, hey, I don't think this is going to get any better, that's when you might want to start looking into something like disability.
Gotcha.
In terms of filing an application, how does that work?
Well, as I mentioned, there are the two programs. If you're filing for SSDI, the application is typically done online through the government. And then if you're filing for the SSI, which is the needs-based benefit, usually that's something you're going to do directly with your local Social Security office, either over the phone or in person.
Is that a long process? Does it take a while to actually get then those benefits once you file?
It can be a lengthy process when you're waiting. It depends kind of on where you live and how busy the government is at that particular time. But
or how long you waited to file, right?
Right. Well, that's the thing. I was going to say, you want to get that application in right away.
Yeah.
I always tell everyone that, you know, the longer that you wait, then the longer you're going to wait on the back end to get that final decision. So the sooner the better, for sure.
Yeah.
When people, if there's an instance where someone is denied benefits, is it often that you're successful in getting that overturned or reversed so that someone does get the benefits that you think they deserve?
Absolutely. Persistence is key. Many decisions are overturned later. You know, you're going to have to be a little bit patient sometimes in waiting for that, but don't give up. And
what's an example of why someone might initially be denied where you can do some work to have that reversed?
Well, having the right kind of medical evidence is important. Also making sure all of the evidence actually ends up in the file too. You know, you don't want the government making a decision on incomplete information. And also, sometimes people need to go to a hearing where they can actually speak face-to-face with somebody at the government. Otherwise, it's pretty much a process of paperwork, and paperwork doesn't always tell us the whole story, right? You know, it's a human being with a life behind that, you know, that file, and, you know, sometimes seeing somebody and understanding their story and how they've come to this place in their life can be very persuasive.
I can imagine that's where a lawyer really comes in, because I picture my mom being in that situation, and she would be so overwhelmed. She would just hands up and be like, I just won't do it. You know, so contacting a lawyer then at that point, I can imagine that's when it truly is going to help you get to that point. And you guys do free consultations.
Yes, absolutely. We do free consultations for anybody who calls into our office. You know, even if we're not able to help you, you know, it is totally free just to talk to us. And so we encourage everybody to call and find out, you know, maybe there's something we can do to help them.
What's the cost to retain you or use your services?
There is no cost to actually hire us. You know, there's no upfront fee. You don't have to pay us by the hour. It's a contingency fee. So that means we only get paid in the event that the person wins. So it
Gotcha.
comes out of the back pay or any sort of past due benefits. We get paid a portion of that.
It's
Okay.
huge to look into it. And I think the point
Yeah.
here too is even if you are denied, if you've applied and been denied, that doesn't necessarily mean that's the end of the story. There's a lot that they can do if they get a chance to look at your case. And consultations are free for Social Security disability. So call today, Tabak Law. The phone number is 414-351-4400. Again, for a free consultation, you can visit them online at tabakattorneys.com.
Thanks,
Great
Lauren.
to see you.
Thank you.
Thank you.